Welcome, everyone, to Heroes of Humanity, where our goal is making the world a better place by identifying, celebrating, and emulating the sung and unsung heroes among us. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you the story of Manisha, an Indian hero of mine. I nicknamed her the Indian Mother Theresa. We're going to look at a video put out about her life story, a very interesting and brief video. Now, Manisha is definitely an unsung hero. There's very little about her on Google. When I say she is a Hindu Mother Teresa, I'm taking a statistical guess. I have a number of Indian friends who moved here from India, and they all identify as Hindus to some degree or another. She could be an atheist, and here's the point, for all I care, and I would still feature her for what she's doing. All right, let's dive right into the video. It speaks for itself, and afterwards, we will share some reflections about the video itself and her life.
It was so disturbing for me to see people laying on streets without food, clothes, or a shelter.
This is the story of Manisha, a nursing lecturer from Tamil Nadu who has tirelessly rescued and rehabilitated nearly 350 homeless people and gave them a new life.
Ever since I was 9, I would go to my father's butcher shop and work there on the weekends. So, with the pocket money I got from there, I used them to buy food, clothes to the homeless people who were near to my neighborhood.
Right from her childhood, Manisha had a strong desire to help people who has been left behind on the streets. And as she grew up, the desire just got stronger.
As I was studying nursing, I realized the difference between sympathy and empathy. Sympathy is when you feel pity for someone's feeling, and empathy is when you understand the pain the other goes through and you feel it. I felt whatever I have been doing was based on sympathy, and which is a temporary thing, and I wanted to do something beyond that.
And that's when she thought of providing a permanent solution to the homeless by providing them shelter and a job to make them independent.
Once we identify them, we clean their mess, cut their hair, buy them new dresses, and get no objection certificate from the police station and take them to our shelter. If they're not old enough or capable enough, we try and help them to find them a job where they can live an independent life.
Over a period of last 5 years, she has rescued and rehabilitated more than 350 people and gave them a new life. Manisha's story has been an inspiration to thousands of youngsters.
Wow, what an encouragement that is. And one of the first things I thought of when I saw this video is this. Here these guys are going out there alleviating the suffering and pain of others. They're intentionally going out there for that very reason, while others are going out there with the intentionality to rape, rob, and destroy lives. That's sad. That's tragic. And that's why we need more people to go out there and sow good things to counteract those who are sowing bad. The second thing I thought of when I watched this was the famous aphorism, which goes something like this: give a man a fish and you will feed him for a day, teach him to fish, and you'll feed them for life. Now, how are we going to emulate this? Most of us are not going to start a homeless ministry like Manisha did, but we can support a local one if we're so led. We can support them financially, or we can support them by volunteering. You'll find that these organizations usually welcome volunteers, even if it's just once a month type of thing. Now, as far as the hands-on helping the homeless goes, I want to make a few caveats about that. As far as our recommendation on how to help the homeless, we should be careful. And one of the first things we should be careful about, and I recognize that many are cynical about giving money to the guy or girl by the side of the road because you fear they might use it for drugs and alcohol. In fact, this is a valid fear. Manisha herself doesn't give them money for that very reason. I heard her say that in an interview once. Now, I worked with a guy who lived on the street, and he told me, this was like decades ago, we worked together, and he said he used to be on the street, and he told me, don't give money to people on the street. He goes, they'll use it, most of them will use it for drugs and alcohol, like he did. He would get up every morning, go panhandle for 3, 4, 5 hours, get 70 or 80 bucks, buy more drugs and alcohol and some food, and he would do it over and over and over again for weeks and months. And finally, he stopped doing that, obviously. But it was a stark warning, and it's true. Now, years ago, I used to be part of a church that went out and gave food to the poor periodically. And we wouldn't give them money either. We would give them food. We would try to give them a ride somewhere or something like that. We say, hey, here's McDonald's. You want something to eat, and give them something to eat and try to talk to them, find out what's going on with their life, and maybe settle them in with a homeless shelter, especially if they needed the ride or something like that. So, second of all, I would be very careful, when you do go out, if in fact you do, if you go out and do something like this, to be careful how you do it. You need to go with others. There's safety in numbers. Now, this doesn't apply to if you see a homeless person, at standing outside of a shopping center or Walmart, or I see them at Lowe's a lot and Home Depot standing out there with signs. I mean, that's pretty safe. But like if you're a woman, you don't pick up a male homeless person and take them to the shelter or something like that. Use wisdom. If you do have time for things like that and you do get involved with something like that, use wisdom in what you do. And third and lastly, it doesn't have to be a homeless person you befriend. You can keep an eye out for people who are suffering, but who aren't on the street. The single mother, for example. You can encourage them somehow. You can give them small donations, or you can invite them over to your house once a month, or you can do something small for them. We all can't do big things and maybe medium things, but we can do small things for people, things to encourage people, things that will help people out. And people generally like even small things that we do, whether it be small donation, a small bit of time we spend with someone, or what have you. So anyway, and finally, I want to end with a newspaper article which gives a final summary of Manisha and her life. So let's take a quick look at that now. The Deccan Chronicle, January 14th, 2020. Erodi girl Manisha Krishnasamy could not fulfill her dream of joining the army or becoming a doctor, but nothing could stop her giving back to society. The compassionate 23-year-old has rehabilitated about 150 homeless people in Erodi. Now, it's like 350 now or more. This was written 5 years ago, I guess. Erodi, Taruki, Thanjavur, and Salem. Manisha, who has no support even from her own family, in her endeavors says, Financial difficulties prevented me from becoming a doctor and serving the needy, so I chose to get a Bachelor's of Science course in nursing. She bagged the 20 Best Outgoing Student of the Year award at the JKKN College of Nursing and Research. So that closes out our segment on Manisha. So we hope you like this video. And if you do, please hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe and pass our channel on to others and be a blessing. Thank you. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Now, in closing, we are looking for new hero stories, especially the unsung, unappreciated heroes among us. So if you want to send us one of your hero stories, someone you want us to feature, please email us at heroesofhumanity@yahoo.com. Include at least one pic and a concise one-page bio describing why you think they should be featured, including your contact information so we can get back to you. We will feature as many as possible that meet our criteria. Now, note, they cannot promote what we deem to be immoral acts or causes. We may use them as a full-length video or in our shorter honorable mention category, which we will slip in at the end of a fuller length hero spotlight.